Let's get ready to grumble!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Royal Grumble! I'm your host, Graham. Sitting in the corner to my right, it's Dan. How you doing, Dan? In the corner to my left, it's Daryl. How you doing, Daryl?
Yeah, you sound like you're in a bit of a rush.
I don't like your hat.
Why?
I don't know. I just thought I'd insult you because I've got to get it out of the way quickly.
Are you in a bit of a rush? Like?
I'm Russian. Gras for Deutsche.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. I think I might have made it up.
Oh.
You know who's going to the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
Goldberg. Can you guess who it is?
No, who is it?
It's Bill Goldberg off of wrestling.
Who's next?
Not Adam Goldberg,
no, he is.
the screenwriter.
Not Adam Goldberg, the screenwriter, or Evan Goldberg, another person, or Mike Goldberg off of UFC.
Or any of the cast of the Goldbergs.
Or any of the cast of the Goldbergs, which is shit.
Which also features Bill Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg's a woman.
Whoopi Goldberg is also going in.
Yeah.
Well, she's Goldberg's half-sister.
I was literally just watching her on the telly.
Why?
I'm watching Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, off of Star Trek. Actually, I just saw. It's on Sci-Fi. Not the one that ECW was on.
No. It's a good first announcement.
Yeah. Well, like, Daryl, I think you discussed previously the fact that he shouldn't be going in Hall of Fame, should he?
Why?
What should he be going into instead?
What should we go into?
Main event, obviously, because he's the biggest babyface
of
the last 12 months.
Fucking love Goldberg.
Yeah, they missed out on that.
Just swore then.
Missed it. Yeah, well done.
Yeah,
it's all right. I made a comment earlier saying that I'm probably going to have to make a direct debit today.
Yeah, I saw that. So brilliant. We're really good. New year, new us, is it?
I've got a good reason.
Why has he got to make a direct? Why?
Because he's going to swear a lot. That's what he's saying.
Oh.
You already swore.
Yeah, but
I'm going to try and save it. To
mine was in that genuine accent. He's gone. Oh no, I'm actively going to swear.
Yeah, that is worse.
I'm saving it for a good one.
Is it?
Is
it
later.
So who's next in the Hall of Fame? Other people, I guess.
Yeah. It was going to be an opening contest, but we don't have time to think of anything funny.
Wasn't there a supposed leaked list?
I haven't seen it.
Me neither. No. So you seen it, Daryl?
What?
The leaked list of.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
No.
The Royal Grumble. Enjoy. I'm doing the thumbs up right now.
Oh.
Raw, Braun, but
Raw is Braun.
The middle of Braun is Raw.
Oh yeah, what's he done this time?
Got sacked and got rehired and chucked stuff on people. And
it's really good to know.
Punch Kevin Dunn.
If I ever get fired, all I've got to do is go on an absolute rampage, beat everyone up, and threaten to tip up a truck, and they'll hire me back out of panic.
Yeah, but is your boss...
Did he really punch Kevin Dunn?
No, he just went to the production truck and did nothing. But is your boss Stephanie McMahon, Dan?
No.
There you go then. You can't do it.
My boss is reasonable.
There you go then. So, can't do it, can you?
Yeah.
Can't do
also, the curb stomp was back.
Yes.
On MLK Day.
Yeah, sorry, you mean the blackout?
Is it called the black? That's even worse. I didn't know that. On MLK Day.
The blackout, it's off of Tyler Blackout. He kept calling it the blackout even when he changed his name to Seth Rollins.
So a few years ago, he did the curb
rolling
stomp.
out doesn't really.
Well, the rollout would work, but he's not really rolling. So what's the point? Blackout, innit?
A few years ago, he did the curb stomp to Big E on MLK Day, and now he's renamed it the Blackout on MLK Day.
Yeah. Do you remember that time that WWE had their only black tag team lose on Martin Luther King Day?
Yeah, wait, I'm just not understanding the reference. I'm not understanding the reference. I'm not fishing for you to be racist.
Right, have you seen American History X?
No.
Right, there's a film called American History X.
Yes.
Right, and even I've not seen it, but I know the reference.
Okay.
In American History X, there's a gentleman who suggests that a gentleman of a darker complexion should bite the curb, and at that point, the gentleman proceeds to place his foot through the gentleman of a darker complexion's skull.
Head, curb stomp.
Okay.
That's where the name comes from.
Because he's on the curb and he stomps on his head on the curb.
And he's a big Nazi.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then he gets raped.
So is Seth Rollins a Nazi?
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
No, because he does the blackout. It's different, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
It's not different.
Blacks out. Oh, no, blackout. That's what he said.
Did you ever hear him say what? Yeah, don't listen to blackout. We are all blacked up, but it's radio. No one would notice.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going in a minute, aren't you? Like KKK meeting.
Did you?
I know that reference, but I can't think of this. It's
in the loop. You've seen it. I watched it with you. You thought it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't as funny as the thick of it, though. You thought.
No.
I thought it'd be more accessible to you. The Royal Grumble. The other thing I was going to say about the blackout off of... Did you ever hear him say why Vince wanted to get rid of it in the first place?
I assume it's because it was dangerous.
No. Do you know, funnily enough, it's the only movie he's never hurt anybody with. I don't know if he has never hurt him. But anyway, the point is, apparently Vince was watching the Today program after WrestleMania 31. So there's Seth Rollins, brand new champion, and here he comes on, he's holding the WWE belt, and they're like, so, what do you do? He's like, I stomp on people using the curb stomp, and there's loads of just footage of him just stomping people's faces into the ground, and he's a bit like, yeah, you're gonna need to change the move.
That works out well.
Yeah. Sorry, he's gonna, hey kiddo, you're gonna need to change the move. So then you remember that one week he had that rubbish DDT.
Yeah. Then he used pedigree for a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, that would better.
You're spoiling my list for later.
Then
when he did that.
Then he did Rainmaker knee, didn't he?
Yeah.
The knee.
Do you think what?
That's what we called the knee.
The knee.
Yeah. Then do you think he's stopped doing the Rainmaker thing because Okada's coming out of Royal Rumble?
100% no.
Oh.
No.
Maybe.
You know, it might be coming out in the Royal Rumble though.
Oh.
Probably isn't, but it might be.
Oh.
Chris Bloody Jericho's back next week, isn't he?
Already.
Yeah. Raw 25's tomorrow night. Chris Jericho's coming back.
Excellent.
He's on that Brock Lesnar deal. Worldwide.
Yeah. Worldwide.
Playing with his crap band and showing up where he wants.
Don't have a go at Fozzy. You know, they've had a lot of hits, and it's completely unrelated to the fact that he's Chris Jericho.
Yeah, they had that cover of ABBA.
Don't forget to go to bottomchrisjericho.com.
It's merely happenstance, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just that's
Lovely.
that's a
Lovely.
splendid reference. Well
Lovely.
done.
Thanks.
Well done indeed.
Thanks, guys. I'm just going to get off now because I've peaked.
Yeah, that's it. That's you for the show.
That was smoother than a good
And I don't
whiskey.
mean today's show. I mean that's you for like. We might as well replace you next week. In fact, go now.
Yeah, you'll see
Don't go
Danny Glover's available. Or...
No, I don't know.
No.
We should phone more listeners and get them involved. That's what we do.
There's only 4 of them.
It's like 10
it's gone
times
up.
that many. Yeah,
I
exactly.
looked today. It's gone up. We're doing well.
We've got a great bunch of lads, and you're all a great bunch of lads.
There's 3 more people who could show up at Royal Rumble, but probably won't.
Yeah, who?
So today, WWE announced that they've signed Ricochet and War Machine.
There you go. That's a huge shock that they've signed Ricochet.
Yeah, people have known about these 3 getting signed for quite a while now, but it's still good. I think War Machine will do pretty well because they are a really, really good tag team. Ricochet, as long as you're not end up on 205 Live, will be pretty good.
Complete coincidence this, but the Revival started an angle last night where they were back on telly and they were like, oh, we're really good at tag teaming, no one will beat us.
I get the feeling that'll be for like Authors of Pain or something.
No, do you not think it'll be for next week on Raw when they bring out someone like APA just to bag them?
I was literally about to sing their music.
Yeah. Or the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah,
but New Age Outlaws.
Billy Gunn's back.
Billy Gunn's back in now. Yeah, he's done his time, hasn't it? That's all right. It's fine to do roids as long as you do your time for a little while. Must have very small balls.
I don't know.
They've moved the SmackDown US title tournament finals as well. That happened.
Well,
that happened already. Like there's a new US champion already.
But we don't know who it is.
No, we don't. No, you don't know
but
who it is.
I'll tell you what happens.
Yeah, here's
Dolph
what happens.
Ziggler comes out.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah. And we all hated it.
Like when John Cena beat Rey Mysterio and CM Punk came back a month early.
All right, come on, just.
I'm ruining all the stuff.
Yeah.
So
are we going to do the rest of the show?
Yeah. We'll say what the second half is before I go on this next bit.
Yeah. So we
why are we doing it out of order?
Because that's how we do things. We're not doing it now. We're just
saying what it is.
Yeah. So we're doing Raw 25 in it this week. So like we're saying some of the best highlights off of Raw on that
aren't like the beer truck.
Yeah. So immediately crossed off are the beer truck and DX invasion, and we're not going to have anyone go, this really was the first shot in the Monday Night Wars. What, Scott Hall? No, don't worry about that. That didn't happen. Just ignore it. We drove a truck to WCW. I'm Triple H.
And we're going to pick one thing from every 5 years.
Yeah.
5 things from 5.
Yeah, that was a great idea that I had.
Yeah. Especially now, considering my original thing was to do one for each year, and we did definitely not have the time for that today.
Yeah, well, that would
Are you for real?
Yeah, that would have been silly. We could have assigned each other years, but we wouldn't have.
Could have just done it in a rotation.
This way we only have to do 15 rather than 5 each, so it's much easier.
Yeah.
Right, so with apologies to all the listeners and everyone else, Dan, the floor is yours. You want to talk about our friend and yours, the late, great David Meltzer.
He's not dead.
No, although what if he is now? That'd be a bit awkward.
Yeah, he might be dead, yeah.
He's not dead.
Well, you didn't kill him, did you? So.
She's there. She's not dead.
So the last few months, there's been a lot of stories going on. We covered it, talking about Michael Elgin and the allegations against him. Last week, the lady in question messaged Dave Meltzer on the board and said, I've tried contacting you several times asking why you haven't reported this story fully. He responded with a Tumblr blog which discredited everything she said really poorly, which apparently has been set up by some people from IWA Mid-South, the only company apart from New Japan who still booked Michael Elgin. Over the past weekend, a lot of people have been messaging Dave Meltzer saying maybe you should have some sort of apology or some explanation behind why that has been your only comment for months on what's been a pretty big story in wrestling, and considering what's going on in the world, an even bigger story. And he's refused to answer any of it, saying he would happily talk privately about it, but not publicly. So, as the world's best wrestling reporter, and I know Ryan Satin's the other guy who got named in all this, but Ryan Satin, who gives a fuck. Dave Meltzer is...
That's one.
Yeah, Dave Meltzer, even in my opinion, is the best wrestling reporter in the world today. But how much a reporter
Hang on. What about me?
Well,
I report on wrestling. I sit in your house every day, every week.
Daryl went to Blackpool once.
Yeah. I went on the road.
Daryl nearly went to Sheffield to 5-star wrestling.
That's what I was going to say. You're second best now because you did miss out that there was a press conference in Sheffield.
Exactly.
Nobody told me till after the fact.
Your sources were unreliable on that one.
That's true, yeah.
But anyway, he's supposed to be the best wrestling reporter in the world.
There's been a rape up there.
Brilliant.
There's loads of people who pay like $10 a month or whatever it is to the Wrestling Observer to get his news every day.
Always get his attention.
But is he really the best reporter if he's failing to report on a story that's been actually huge? And like we even suggested as well when it first happened, maybe it'd be the watershed moment where more stories come out, which as we have seen in British wrestling the past week. So there's two reasons why he didn't report on this. Either he personally didn't believe the stories, or he didn't think it was important. And both of those are so problematic. All I can say about it is, unless he comes out with a public statement before Sunday, I don't even want an apology. I just want some explanation behind why he hasn't reported on any of this stuff, because he doesn't deem it thing. When he talked about it originally, he said, stuff like this happens in wrestling all the time. That's not the fucking point. Look at what's happening in Hollywood, where people are getting called out all the time for their shit behaviour. And people are getting actually held accountable for their actions.
Two more.
And Dave Meltzer just goes, stuff like this happens in wrestling all the time. It's not a big deal. It is a fucking big deal. And fuck you, Dave Meltzer. Just fuck you. Fucking do something about it.
One again.
Why was Sunday a deadline? You said something about if you don't give an apology.
Because that's when the shows come out. So he might have given an apology by then. And if so, I take back some of the things I said, but still fuck you for this, Dave Meltzer.
Are you still subscribing to his newsletter?
Actually, I was going to talk to you about that later.
Yeah, I'm going to say it on there, but we steal it. So I mean, we don't, but we share a subscription, so that way we don't have to both pay.
Yeah,
and
I'm happy.
One of us pays. So
the other thing I meant to say is the ticket money for today. That's 2 months.
I saw that comment.
Yeah,
I steal it.
Yeah,
but
you're right to do it.
I'm not listening to it anymore because he's supposed to be the best reporter. If he's missing out on stories like this because he don't think it's worthy of reporting, fuck him. Who gives a shit about house show reports when shit like that's going on? Right. Yeah, like I said, direct debit.
Yeah.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Right, done it again. So I think he owes me 50 quid now after.
Right. Can I just if we're going to have little rants, let's have little rants. I wanted us to not swear so we could maybe get sponsors or something. That's not going to happen anymore, is it?
I've got it all out of my system.
This is the
swear
real
last
quiz.
week.
This is the real show now. We've started the real show.
Yeah, I didn't swear last week. That was a special thing.
So
yeah,
I ring fenced it and everything.
Yeah. How come he gets to do it?
I ring fenced it in advance.
It was an accident. I didn't mean to swear.
Yeah, no. You're having to go pathetic.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, let's move on to more pressing matters.
I thought it was work. Not work time. Pathetic.
I'm sure if he gave...
Sucking up to everyone. Oh, I want to be friends.
I'm sure if he actually cared, he'd want to message privately. But let's get on to, actual
Paige
important stuff.
Injured and might be out forever and apparently isn't taking it very well.
I'm not surprised.
She's 25.
She's worked hard to come... she's 25-year-old. She's worked very hard to come back from all of the stuff over the past year or so. Has finally got back onto the main roster and then gets injured in a match on a house show, and that's it.
That girl has no luck at all. A bunch of people have been having a go at Sasha Banks because, that's reasonable. Yeah, definitely have a go at the person who did it. Because I heard she did it deliberately.
Everyone...
and she didn't. Sarcasm doesn't come across well on podcasts. She didn't. It's ridiculous, and stop abusing Sasha Banks. WWE haven't confirmed anything yet. Paige hasn't confirmed anything yet, apparently, because she says 2018 is going to be her year, but she simultaneously said she couldn't be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and they've taken her off the graphics.
Yeah.
It's quite a sad
I guess
story.
we'll see. It might be inaccurate, but sounds like that might be what's going on. So, yeah, sad story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Raw's good, isn't it? Raw's a good show. Let's talk about the 25 years of Raw, some of the best moments on Raw after this. And we're back! Raw! It's the light and the plate that adored to me, the love and the soul of me.
I don't know the words to that either.
No one does.
No.
The thorn in your eye.
Is it the same people that did Test Song?
Yes. This is, we're literally, like, you don't realise we're doing it, but we're stealing an entire thing from, like, OSW at this point.
Oh, and I don't listen to them.
I know.
Not in a negative way, I just...
No, you just don't. No, they're all right. They're a great bunch of lads.
Yeah, I started listening to it on their
I'm
recommendations.
right to say that.
Oh, so have we just ripped them off?
Well, yeah, but since we're doing it, we might as well carry on. What about the old
It's
SmackDown
it's
theme?
credited.
Are they more successful than us?
Yeah.
Let's carry on ripping them off then.
We've credited
How are they more
it's fine.
successful than us with quality content like this?
If it works for them, then
Yeah,
why
so
not?
let's break it down then. Break it down again.
Celebrating
Break it down.
25 years of Raw.
So, best moments. We mentioned already all the best moments, clearly, off of DX. Let's talk for 25 minutes about DX with the truck and that. We're doing that?
Oh, yeah.
We doing that?
And
Yeah,
Austin
yeah.
with the truck and that.
Are we yeah, and Austin with the other truck, and Kurt Angle with the truck. So all the trucks, all the classics, all the best tapes.
All the truck related stuff.
Yeah.
They even pulled that out this week. We mentioned it in the first half. Truck related
Yeah.
stuff.
Truck Strowman.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, good. All relevant. No, we're breaking it down into 5-year not gaps, but chunks.
Yes.
Bite-sized chunks of raw goodness.
Yeah.
Like a nice steak.
Or a segment of an orange.
Or a
If you're a vegan.
if you're or a segment of an orange. Good.
Yeah.
Nice. So 93 to 97, we all picked a different moment.
Well, did we though? How do we know?
But you haven't discussed it, so let's find out. Dan, what did you pick from 93 to 97?
I've gone for one from 1993. Razor Ramon versus the 1-2-3 Kid from the 17th of May, 1993.
Good man, we've all picked different moments. That's good. Let's carry on.
See, this was one of the first big moments in Raw where they realised it was a show where actually anything could happen as a live broadcast. 1-2-3 Kid was just the kid at this point and was a jobber. He'd lost to a few people on the show. And then all of a sudden he beats Razor Ramon out of nowhere, making him an overnight star. And it genuinely did. He became a big deal in WWE for a few years, feuding with Razor Ramon pretty much for 2 or 3 years over this. They had some later matches, including the Crybaby match on pay-per-view. They had a match for $5,000 in a duffel bag, where the 1-2-3 Kid got concussed. But this match was a really big moment early on in Raw for just the unpredictability of the 1-2-3 Kid pulling out a surprise victory on live TV.
Yeah, because didn't he get named 1-2-3 Kid after beating Razor Ramon as well?
Yeah, it gave him his name. So
Yeah.
it's a really good moment, like early on in the history of Raw. The other thing I was going to mention was from the first episode, which was Bobby Heenan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's one of the earliest things I can remember from Raw, him trying to get into the first episode of Raw, including getting in drag and stuff like that to try and get in. Really great moment. But this, I feel like, was the first match that really caught people's attention.
When was Bobby Heenan's name last mentioned on the Royal Grumble podcast? Do you remember?
Tune into the Christmas quiz, guys.
It still upsets him a little bit. You can see it because he went to rub his eyebrow.
Yep.
Daryl, from 93 to 97, what was your highlight?
I've jumped to 97, mate.
Nice. Okay, good.
So mine's from the episode of Raw from the 22nd of September.
Yep.
And Triple H is due to have a Falls Count Anywhere match with one of Mick Foley's personas, and Dude Love appears on the screen and has a little promo says, "Oh, I'm not solid enough to have a Falls Count Anywhere match, but I know somebody that is. I know some kind of man that is." Then Mankind pops up on screen, and then Mankind's like, "Oh no, you don't need me. Do you know what I'm thinking?" And then Doolittle says, "I think I know what you're thinking." Then Mankind says, "Do you really know what you think I'm thinking? That you think I'm thinking?" And then that actually happens.
Excellent.
And then they both say Cactus Jack, and then it's Cactus Jack debut on WWE TV
That's pretty good.
in MSG.
Nice.
And the bit that caps it off on that is anyone who says Triple H never sold for anyone, he sells that one so
Where
well.
and he gets pile driven through a table for finish. So on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah, good that. Triple H has a history. Well, has a history of selling for Cactus Jack, doesn't he? Because he does it on SmackDown again a couple of years later.
Yeah.
Off of when Mick Foley's like, "Oh, I'm right weak on that."
What would be quite poetic about this, but it's not because he came out of retirement, is that Cactus Jack debuted at MSG for WWE in '97 against Triple H in a street fight, and then I believe is it Royal Rumble in 2000 that he was meant to retire.
No,
Was he not?
Oh no, it was
that
No
wasn't
Way
his
Out.
retirement match.
Was it
so-
not?
No, it was just a match. The
that's a
following
shame.
one was the retirement match.
Hell in the Cell, No Way Out.
Just ignore me then. Move on.
Right, okay, move on. Yeah. Mine is also from 1997. It's the ECW Invasion of Raw, not the 2005 one, because as I've previously established, I said 1997. The original ECW Invasion, the original invasion before the invasion of the invasion, but not the complete original invasion, because there were other invasions before that. But this is the ECW Invasion of Raw in 1997.
I didn't
Dreamer.
understand what were happening.
Tommy Dreamer and his trackies in front row.
Tommy
Oh no,
Dreamer.
that was the.
No, you're thinking of not King
Yeah.
of the Ring,
Ground
but the
Zero.
other one, Ground Zero. No, this is the one with the Eliminators show up.
Oh yeah.
Hit total elimination.
Isn't Sabu on it where he jumps off of the Raw sign, or is that something different?
Sabu jumps off the Raw sign. Paul Heyman has a go at everybody, has a little bit of a slag at Jerry Lawler. There's all sorts of classic Raw talent on this. Just to give you an idea, all the best people are in Europe. So instead, we get here's some of the actual like the WWF matches, not the ECW matches because they're on there. The Godwins versus the Blackjacks.
What? Right? Why are you slagging that off for a kickoff?
Why do you think, Daryl? Why do you think?
Well, it's the new Blackjacks against the Godwins.
That's me turning Daryl's crank. Not in that way. And following it, Goldust is there.
Yeah.
Sonny and Marlena.
Right. I don't.
Savio Vega.
Again. This is vintage Raw, mate. You can't diss any of these people. All these people are legends.
Did you know that the 11th best tag team on SmackDown were there? Headbangers against the Legion of Doom. This is the Legion of Doom with puke though. So that's
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
No.
No, I didn't think it were. No, I
No.
think it came a bit later.
Yeah. Farouk.
Yeah.
He's there. Versus Undertaker, to be fair, I'll give him that. The Undertaker, obviously, he was obviously like, I ain't go to Europe. I ain't got a passport. How could I get a passport looking like this? I'm dead.
Yeah, I did have a
legally
passport,
dead.
but I died.
Yeah. Rob Van Dam's on it. All right. He's not off of WWF. I'm just telling you all the bunch of people who are there. Rob Van Dam. They show a bunch of clips of Sid and the Dudley Boys are there. Dreamer and Sandman as well. Tommy Dreamer has a match with Devon Dudley and Bueller's on it. So it was good. It's like it was nice for ECW at the time. It builds up to Bailey Legal, basically. It's a lot of sort of Bailey Legal build up. They're like shoot got angles and stuff for that.
What were better, that invasion
I might be able to see where this is going.
the NWA invasion?
This.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with him on that one.
This one had That one had Jeff Jarrett though.
How'd you spell Jarrett?
JEFFJARRET ain't that great? Haha.
Well, actually, I said, how do you spell Jarrett? So.
Yeah, but you can't do it without doing it all.
Very true. So then we move on to, so this is partly in the Attitude Era. Well, it's not really, but it is, but it isn't. Then we move on to proper Attitude Era and slightly after. So it's 98 to 2002. So I'm going to go left this time, and now we're going to find out again if we've all picked the same one. This should be fun.
Okay. I've picked one specific promo.
Okay.
It's before Armageddon 2000, and The Rock does an impression of everybody in the match. And it's hilarious.
I still watch this on YouTube sometimes. It is spectacular.
Yeah, it's brilliant. He does an impression of Austin, and he gets Austin's camo baseball cap on, and he starts talking about drinking some Steve Wises and listening to some Backstreet Boys. He then just completely changes his facial expression, and he's like, "I'm Kurt Angle, and I'm going to drink some milk and cookies," and he's something else, and he's
And take 3 Viagra.
yeah, that's it. He rips on Rikishi.
The Rikishi one's the one I remember.
Yeah.
He gets that dead on. It's just the most I did it for The Rock.
Oh, shut your thong wearing fight.
Nails it. Absolutely nails it.
Yeah, so that's my
I did
pick.
always like The Rock's Triple H impression as well. Like, because he does it a bunch of times.
Yeah, he over exaggerates, doesn't
Yeah, and he always brings up the nose. Always brings up... Like, he seems to be the only person who gets away with...
Yeah, because it's The Rock, innit? He's a star.
Yeah, but like... And even like Austin or whatever, like obviously it's not Austin's shtick anyway, but no one else seems to dare... But yeah, The Rock is like every single time... It's almost like he's compensating for no one else going... Have you not seen this guy's got a big nose?
Yeah, but I think part of
Guns
it...
over it.
I think part of it as well is that if you think about it, Rock and Triple H came up at similar time. So they're more like peers. Yeah. Whereas like...
Which is what... Ironically, at one point, Rock would have been like, yeah, we're peers. And now Triple H is like, yeah, we're peers. We're basically the same. I was in a film. It was Blade Trinity.
Hey, was it? We reviewed one of his films, didn't we?
Yeah, but...
It had Lisa Simpson in it.
It did.
Listen back to that in the archives.
Yeah, enjoy it. Anyway, you're going to go say they're peers and whatever.
Oh yeah, they're peers, but like people that come in now... So like Seth Rollins can't really rip on his nose because he's the boss now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Triple H is.
That's what, yeah.
I know, just clarifying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's me.
Right, move on.
Clear. Dan.
Mine's a bit less fun. I was trying to think of Attitude Era moments that wouldn't be on any lists like this, and the thing that sticks out most to me is the Owen Hart tribute show the night after Over the Edge. I felt like it was one of the most real, well, it definitely was one of the most real things the WWE's ever produced, a 2-hour special to the life of Owen Hart. I can remember like being young and seeing all the wrestlers like tell stories about Owen and stuff and just realizing how much the guys behind the camera meant to people. And I feel like this was a massive, massive moment for me as a wrestling fan and for a lot of people who loved Owen Hart as well. Also, for you, Daryl, Jeff Jarrett wins the IC title on the show from The Godfather.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Yeah, because the Blue Blazer apparently was supposed to win it the night before. And there's lots of really good stuff on this show, and even now I can go back and watch it and get a little teary-eyed at it. It's a really, really well-done 2-hour piece of television.
There you go. We're going to be depressing some people later on, then I can tell you. Yeah. Well, I picked a slightly odd one because I figured you probably both go for Attitude Era stuff, so I went a little bit beyond that, a little bit further on, and I was tossed up between these two, so I'll mention them in the same breath, even though they're nowhere near each other, although they're sort of beginnings and ends of an injury. So the first one I just wanted to briefly touch on was Rock versus Austin in the cage straight after the night after WrestleMania 17, which is arguably, I would say, more of a problem for them in the long run, although it doesn't work out in the same way as it might do, than the invasion failure. Because basically what they do is, if you remember the No Way Out the month before, Triple H beats Austin, right? Austin's the number one contender for the world title. Triple H beats him in the cage match, in that 3 stages of hell match that they have, right? When he falls on top of him.
Yeah.
So then Austin wins the title and turns heel. So they've got a natural contender. Rock's off, right? Rock's going away. So Vince McMahon's like, oh, you're going to have a cage match, and everyone goes mental, because obviously it's like that time, isn't it? And so they have a little bit of a like punch and kick cage match, and then Vince McMahon's like, oh, we're going to pagger you, Rock. We're going to lock you in the cage. And then Triple H comes out, having not been shown for the whole night. Massive pop. He comes out with a sledgehammer. It's like, right, great. This is our feud leading into the summer. This is it. This is the big feud. And he turns around and he smacks The Rock. And they go, look, we're both heels. This'll work. Our main contender is Kane. Sorry, I lied. The main contender at first is Matt Hardy.
So what is this something you liked?
So this
or
is
just things we like?
Well, this is okay, yeah, but this is like the actual moment is quite. Again, it's a classic swerve, even though this is post Russo. But that's the beginning of it, because like shortly after that, Triple H gets injured, and the one I was actually the one that I really do like is Triple H returning again at Madison Square Garden in 2002 in his I'm wearing jean.
Do a wrestle fashions for yourself.
The fashions, jean jacket over leather jacket, because that's how you wear jackets. jackets upon jackets, but the pop for him is massive.
I've got a confession to make.
Go on.
Right.
Yeah.
So when that happened,
yeah,
I decided I wanted to follow suit on this, right? but I did it in the wrong way round. So I had a full denim jacket. So I proceeded to buy What?
Leather vest.
Well, no, it wasn't even a leather vest, mate. It was a black body warmer. And I would walk around Doncaster Town Centre in blue denim jeans, matching blue denim jacket, and a black body warmer over the top of it. I must have looked a state.
Did it say Castrol GTX on the back?
It didn't. What was I thinking?
You probably did look a state, but it was Doncaster.
Yeah, I blended in. What I should say is nobody batted an eye because it was Doncaster, but what was I thinking?
Jerry McKayle's holding pen.
To be fair, I was... When in 2002 did he return? Like January?
Yeah, it was January. So it was to announce he was going to be in the Royal
To
Rumble.
be fair, I was 11, so it's not like I made the decision as an adult, but my parents let me out of the house like that.
Oh dear.
So what was your actual moment? Was that it?
That was, the Triple H return was really good.
Just before we move on, I had a slight one to mention just because it's always fun to reenact this one. Vince McMahon has the higher power.
Oh, yeah.
It's me, Austin.
Son of a bitch.
It was me all along, Austin. Even my family bought it.
It's just great to reenact that.
Triple H thing. One thing I don't like about that is Triple H's revisionist history of it, where in any like talking head piece he does, he's always like, "Oh, I didn't know if they were going to cheer me or not. I didn't know if they'd remember me." I'm like, "Oh."
Even though
Triple
like,
H is well into revisionist history.
also,
though.
even though like a month ago they were first of all, he's definitely supposed to be back for Vengeance.
Yeah,
because he's on the poster, and also the whole theme of Vengeance is hammers, just sledgehammers on everything.
Triple H's revisionist history is no more evident than talk about WrestleMania 25 and talk about how it was a heated match. They had to take the crane cam around the crowd to get them to cheer at random points.
Whilst they were all doing like woo.
Yeah.
And no, but also in that they also had that was the Beautiful Day video off of like, oh my knee really hurts. It's a beautiful day.
Triple H, do you know Bono?
I do know Bono. So
these are all Bono's cars.
The Attitude Era is over then. We can move into, I don't know, what's it called?
03 to 07.
The Ruthless Aggression era, then the PG era, then the Poothless Aggression.
The modern era.
Then the modern era. Oh, yeah. The real era, or whatever.
The new era.
Whatever nonsense. Not the new era, because that's a bit like new generation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you can't take away the new generation, can you, Darren?
No.
So, 03 to 07. This was like, I was watching a lot more at this point, so that like I know a lot. Although I think my gap was somewhere in here, like my gap year was somewhere in here. I think it was the Triple H title reign. So I assume you both got Triple H moments from 2004.
Well, the moment I was gonna I was trying to think of all the things I really enjoyed at that time, but a lot of them involve the man who shall not be named anymore. So I had to go for something that might actually be on. Yeah, because it was when he came over to Raw to challenge Triple H and Shawn Michaels and
Chavo
stuff.
Guerrero.
But yeah, Chavo Guerrero, Stevie Richards.
Stevie Richards, yeah.
So I've picked something that actually might be on some people's greatest Raw moments list. But anyway, Shawn Michaels versus Shelton Benjamin for May 2nd, 2005.
I panicked a little because I thought he was going to say what I had, and I think he might be about to say what you had. Go on.
No, I've got something totally different.
Good.
But
right,
yeah, this was like one of the... This was kind of... Not to the level of Razor Ramon and the Kid, but Shelton Benjamin was seen as like just a mid-carder against a main event guy, and they have an absolutely outstanding match.
Was he seen as a mid-carder though after Triple H made him by letting him pin him and beat him by DQ or whatever? So really, it's Triple H's work that Shawn Michaels is just clearing up after. But I know what you mean. Go on.
Yeah, this was like the start of Shawn Michaels really, really getting good. Like Shawn Michaels was good before, but this is when he really got good.
Do you remember what this was part of? Do you remember what like it was framed as part of something?
Is it like it went to beat the clock challenge?
Gold Rush
It was the Gold Rush tournament. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love the Gold Rush tournament. That was when I started watching again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this the one where the finish is the springboard into the super kick?
Yes, it's the super kick.
That's literally the only thing I remember from the match.
It is a great... I watched it earlier on today just to think... Let me just make sure that should be on my list. Yes, it should. It's a very, very good match.
It is really good. Plus, also, I think this is one of the shows where they're all like, "Oh, Lita, you had sex with Edge." Lita.
Moving on, my favourite moment is from 2005. It's the Edge / Matt Hardy feud.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. That's not what I thought you were going to say, but go on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I thought it was going to be related.
Oh no,
you know what I thought.
I was tempted by that, but yeah, the Edge and Matt Hardy feud. I just feel like it made Edge a main eventer, and fuck Matt Hardy since we swear in today. Fuck him.
I was ring-fest.
Another one. Yeah. It did make Edge a main event, didn't it? Ironically. He shagged his way to the main event.
Yeah.
It was WWE going, Yeah, the logical thing of this storyline would be the babyface to come back and get revenge, but we want to push Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Also,
yeah.
Matt Hardy. No, this wasn't the one. No, I was thinking. No, it's before WrestleMania 25 that I was thinking. But yeah, Matt Hardy's such a poor promo.
Yeah, but there was a poor promo in this run.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, so it's Matt Hardy trying to, because I don't know if you remember, Kane is pseudo Matt Hardy for a bit of this.
Yeah, I remember that. I do.
So like Matt Hardy comes back and they have to fit him into it somehow. So then on TV, he's doing a promo he's saying, yeah, so on TV, Lita's going home with Kane, but really she's going home with Matt Hardy, but really she was going home with Edge. And everyone's like, what are you on about, mate? Like,
A big part of this personally for everyone in here as well is it meant that Matt Hardy coming back meant that he couldn't appear on the first ever 1PW show.
I don't know your money.
There you go.
Set myself up there. I knew that be mentioned.
Were you involved with that show? I assume you were.
Yeah, I was on
So, like,
one of
neither
the
of us were anywhere.
merch stalls. Yeah, I didn't really know any backstage stuff on that one.
No,
I
fair
was
enough.
merely
Do you know
selling
this
belts.
week was like was it 10 years since the Will Not Die?
2008, that would have been
11.
then.
Yeah, I think it was 10 years since Will Not Die.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, it would have either been 07 or 08.
It might have been 07. It came up on my my time hop thing.
So-
anyway.
Yeah.
I'm 6 months away from... Actually, no, I did my first ever show in wrestling in like a month, 10 years ago in a month.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
There's a street fight in August on Raw 2005 that's got Edge and Matt Hardy in it. Edge, and I quite like it because doing wrestle fashions.
Wrestler fashions,
It's a street fight, so what is Edge wearing?
people's clothes.
He's wearing jeans. He's wearing jeans.
Yeah, Edge
Street Fight jeans.
Yeah. And it finishes in a no
In
contest.
these jeans, I see clearly.
It finishes in a no contest because
Phenomenal.
Matt Hardy does a side effect, which I don't think he's ever finished anybody off, but he does it off the stage and it
I
onto
remember.
Summer, and it's all sparks.
Yeah. Which is a no contest in a street fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Phenomenal. Great one. Well, mine is a little bit more in-ringy than that.
Go on.
Like, first of all, disappointed. Like we're going to address the elephant in the room. Why didn't you pick the live sex?
Can we not count it as part of the Edge Lita thing?
Okay,
Can we
yeah,
not
we
just
can,
count it?
definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
I picked it. Carry on.
Yeah, Edge won the title. He was like, "No, I'm going to have sex with her in the ring," and then her actual tit came out.
I'll be honest with you. The reason I didn't pick it is because I thought we were toning down a bit. So I thought I don't know if I'm allowed to say sex.
Well, he's ruined it, and you've ruined it.
Yeah.
So, am I still undefeated in terms of not swearing?
Well, you just said, do you count tit?
No.
Okay.
yeah, but no, but you must
Could be-
count. You
It's
must
one,
count.
it's
No.
one of the 7 swear words.
Could be talking about a bird.
Were you? You were. She's a rape bird, isn't she? That Lita.
Sexist. So
It's literally one of George Carlin's 7 words you can't say on television.
really,
Yeah.
Is that tit or titty?
It's the singular.
See, breast. We saw
I don't
her
want to. I don't
nipple.
want to list it.
We'll
'cause
saw
I'm trying
her
not to
nipple.
swear.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So off of the UK and London, and that guess who went 60 minutes? Only bloody John Cena, didn't he? Yeah, Mr. Work Rate.
The 60-minute man, John
60
Cena.
minute man, John Cena. I mean, it wasn't really 60 minutes. It was
Oh.
telly 60 minutes. But
Oh.
like, because if they're in the UK, they're like, just stall, and we'll say it was 5 minutes. But still, he went like 40-something minutes against Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
That was one of the shows that Randy Orton got sent home on. So because apparently this is the whole reason that they ended up going that long is they were supposed to have they had a 4-way match planned for the title, and it was John Cena, Shawn Michaels, Edge, and Randy Orton. And on that night, John Cena and Edge. No, bloody hell, John Cena and Shawn Michaels were still the tag team champions at this point, and Randy Orton and Edge had also had a match for the tag team titles. So they're already tag teams, but they're going to have matches with each other. And theoretically, like kayfabe-wise, the main event was Randy Orton versus Edge. But John Cena and Shawn Michaels were supposed to go on first. But they didn't get to the Randy Orton and Edge match because John Cena and Shawn Michaels went so long. But actually, I really liked this match. It showed a completely different side of John Cena. It showed this, well, to people that said that he couldn't do it. I knew he could do it because this was a point at which, like, people had sort of they were still turned on him, but they weren't as turned on him as he used to be. But I think this is a big part of steering him back round because, like that, 10 years later, people started to accept him anyway. But it's a really clever match, really good psychology, and the finish is fantastic when Shawn Michaels pins John Cena after having been beaten by him at WrestleMania. And once again, you get the feeling that Shawn's going to win the big one, and then he doesn't. But it's fine because that's the point. Is Shawn is good enough, but he just doesn't get it done in the big matches. That's the point of Shawn towards the end.
Yeah, he didn't need the belt, did he?
No, he didn't. I mean, we know he didn't need the belt as well, but yeah. So yeah, that was the very fact that they did a 60-minute match on Raw.
Yeah, I know they picked that as well.
Yeah, the fact that it was in London as well.
Yep.
So, Rule Britannia and all that. We were rolling the waves. Take that, America. And it was just really good. So we moved then from 2007 to 2008 to 12. And the next 5 years, what's this one now? This is definitely in PG era by this point,
PG.
innit? So
Yeah.
PG, proper PG.
Yeah.
So, Daryl, I assume you got something on PG.
No. Now I think mine's quite a funny one. Is there any more depressing ones before we move on?
No. Well, it's not. It's depressing personally, but not in the wider scale.
Go on, do yours.
CM Punk Triple H promo from the 12th of September.
Oh, how could you pick this?
I thought you were picking. I thought you were picking
I thought we were
things
picking
we
good
like.
stuff.
No, I really enjoyed this
Why?
promo.
But you just said it's depressing
No.
personally.
Right.
Yeah, I'll explain the
Okay,
story.
well, this should
Right.
be fun. And then
So, yeah, this promo.
I
So
have very different feelings on this, so this is going to be fun.
a lot of people will mention the Pipebomb promo was the big thing for CM Punk.
Well,
It's
if
the
anybody
Summer Punk.
mentioned the Pipebomb promo, I was going to call you
Yeah.
out on it because that's
Definitely going to be on
that's-
people's
yeah,
list.
yeah.
If WWE want to mention him, it won't be
Yeah.
on the official list. But
Yeah,
no,
not
I
for a couple
still,
of years, yeah.
I still go back and watch the contract sign in between these two, with all like the pseudo shoot comments.
Is this the one where he said? Which is the one where he says
It's
this
this one.
is Phil Brooks talking
Yeah,
to
it's
Paul
this
Levesque?
Yeah,
Oh,
He took his
go
headphones
for a
off.
wee.
yeah,
Oh.
he's going for a way. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this promo, and it's still one. It's still one that I go back and watch occasionally. That is a little bit cringy, but the rest of the thing is very, very good. Where CM Punk is continuing to be like the person he's been all summer before he actually had his balls cut off the Sunday after this by Triple H in a match. And my favourite moment of it is a really left field one. It might even be from the Vince McMahon one earlier on in the thing, but I specifically remember him referring to John Laurinaitis as Funk Man continuously, and that will never fail to make me laugh. But yeah, after this, CM Punk went on to lose to Triple H, and I actually stopped watching wrestling for 3 or 4 years because
Really?
of it. The mishandling of the Summer of Punk is what caused me to stop watching.
It is a shame that they. I don't know. Like, I don't know why they handled it the way they did because it weren't. I don't know. Like it was over, like really over. He did the pipe bomb.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank thing, and then what was it? Was this leading up to SummerSlam, or is this after?
No, this was the Night of Champions match.
Okay.
Where they did CM Punk versus Triple H.
Yeah,
Because he lost the title at SummerSlam to Alberto Del Rio.
yeah,
Because Kevin Nash came in and stuck the winner for
yeah,
Triple H.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was like building up, and it seemed to make sense that Punk should have beat Triple H, but he didn't. Yeah. Even I admit that's a bit cringy, that bit. But yeah, I stopped watching wrestling after Night of Champions, and I didn't come back until it might have even been one of you two. Someone shared a video on Facebook of
Wouldn't have been
Daniel
me.
Bryan on top of the cage doing the yes chant with the entire arena chanting yes, and that's what brought me back to wrestling.
I don't share videos like that on Facebook because
No,
I don't
you
want
don't.
people to know I'm a wrestling fan.
Well, I'm back now because I'm really annoyed that you picked that. I hate that promo. It's everything that's wrong with wrestling. in my
well,
eyes. Go on.
he should have cheated and done
Yeah.
what I did.
Okay, here we go.
I just said like Summer of Punk. shouldn't
Okay,
he?
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
I cheated and went Edge
Cheated
of
again.
Matt Hardy feud.
He's done it again.
I said it was like the last great moment of the Summer of Punk.
Was it great? That was really bad. Go on.
Well,
What else happened at Summer of Punk? Pipe bomb?
No, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
go
don't
on
talk
then.
about the
What-
pipe bomb.
No. What are we going to talk about though?
Right. Well, do you want to go first in this?
No, because I'll level with you. I've literally just forgot what mine was. So
Okay.
I'm going to check my
Okay,
notes.
so
and you-
so mine is McMahon's $1 Million Mania.
Splendid. Mine isn't depressing, so it'll be fine. But yeah, excellent.
This was mental.
Yes.
I mean, I think everybody had assumptions that Vince McMahon was a lunatic, and this confirmed all of them. He doesn't know how to work a phone. He wears glasses, which you'll see as a form of weakness, because it's Vince. You can't hiccup in his presence without him shouting at you.
Yeah.
And he got rickrolled
yes.
by somebody that could have potentially won millions of dollars.
Phenomenal.
And they just thought, nah, we're just going to rickroll him instead. And it all ended with him under a pile of metal.
Yes, it did. Paul. I'm
Yeah, and he used a real name, didn't he?
Paul. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cringy.
Well, mine comes from June 7th, 2010, and it's the Nexus The debut of the Nexus.
Do we count this as
I
two
think
reviews?
I think this would be on a major list.
Oh,
Debut
whatever,
of the
fine.
Nexus.
Okay, right. Well, the other one is the next week then, but Daniel Bryan gets sacked then because he's like, oh, he was the one who he showed remorse, so we've sacked him.
I'll tell you what I like about that Nexus angle.
Yep.
Is that the whole of Raw was awful. I remember it.
It really
being
was
a
3 hours as well.
It was a really bad Raw.
It was really
and then
terrible.
it was saved by the angle at the end.
Yeah, I remember that very specifically.
Now,
That's
do you
part-
remember what we did years later when we went back and rewatched the Nexus angle?
No.
Do you not remember this? Okay,
Oh, yes, I know.
yeah,
I do remember.
So
Yes.
CM
I was
Punk and
gonna
Colt
mention it,
Cabana did the podcast, and CM Punk shooting on everybody, and he said, yeah, when they brought the Nexus in, and then he pauses and he says, yeah, somebody, like, I just got eye surgery and somebody was like raking my eyes. And I'll tell you why he didn't name names, because that somebody was the biggest babyface in the company years later, Daniel Bryan.
And the one that I maintain, I've said this before, I think, on the show, but I'm definitely going to say it now. I maintain that CM Punk hates Daniel Bryan, and he wants you to think that he doesn't, and he probably says to Daniel Bryan's face that he doesn't, and they're probably act pally-pally to each other, but I think he hates him, because I think CM Punk sees Daniel Bryan and goes, I should have been you, I should have been as successful as you, and I should have main evented WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I think to this day, even though you would never say it and you'll never hear him say it, I think he hates him. And it's even funnier to me that that's who was putting his fingers in his eyes. Because I know in his head he was going, oh, it's probably Michael Tarver or one of these rookies. I'm a vet.
Ryback.
I'm a vet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Skip
almost certainly thinks it's him. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran man.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm CM Punk.
But yeah, they broke out ring, didn't they? And
Yeah.
like choked ringing out some bloke. And
What? I don't know if this counts as an underrated moment, but wasn't it 2012 that we were at Raw?
You're on Raw.
Well,
No.
Was it not? Was it?
no, I'm saying we weren't on Raw. We were at Raw.
at Raw.
Ricky
Uh,
Hatton won.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I
that
was
one.
there.
That was 2009.
Was it? Oh.
T'other one. Off
no,
of,
that was 2013.
there you go then. Well,
So that's probably your next one that you've.
yeah, ruined my next one. That's right. I've got these in the wrong order.
Take it home, boys.
Okay, well, 2009 then. Ricky Hatton has a fight with someone. That was great. Undertaker showed up. It were all right.
Yeah,
And then it's a highlight because me and
because it were in Sheffield.
Darryl became friends.
We bummed.
We did. I slept on his floor. I left at 4 a.m. It was 6. That makes it fine. That's the rule, right? Well, 2013, and you're gonna be shocked.
Okay.
This is the shock, right? Dolph Ziggler cashes in the Money in the Bank
No,
and becomes the
no.
world champion.
Oh.
And here's why, right? Because this is as good as it got for him, and we were there. We were there for the best it ever got for him, and it never gets any better. It's literally downhill from here. We saw his magnum opus, his greatest moment, and he'll never reach that again because he's terrible. There you go. Probably not.
Should have closed on that one.
That's probably
Yeah.
one. That,
That's a closer.
that's
That
a
one.
closer.
Mate.
It's probably one that would show up on one of these lists, but like top 50 moments in Raw, number 49.
I think out of the two of us, Daryl's got the closer.
I don't know if I have, to be honest with you.
Well,
Show me yours.
That's mine.
Oh, that's a good one. That's bad. I'm shocked that you've picked that one. Why? Right, I'm shocked at you actually. You picked out the CM Punk and Triple H thing, right?
yeah.
Who is your favorite wrestler in the entire world
Yeah.
What, right now or
ever?
Ever.
Bret Hart?
What did
Would
he
you-
do in
Would
2010?
you not pick that one as?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Would you?
I nearly picked that, and I thought I'm not going to pick it because you'll have picked it.
Then I'll use the argument that it'll probably be on a. It's not an underrated
He's
moment.
probably
it'll
not
thing.
wrong to be fair.
But
Well, mine's probably going to
see,
be.
I was genuinely
on
trying
the
to think of things that wouldn't make lists like this. But I think this might
think-
slightly.
Well, I think we'll go for yours and then yours because yours
Yeah.
actually ties into something that I saw this week. So we're going to bring it back round,
Okay.
make it super relevant, and then end the show on it.
Mine's
Okay.
very quick. Braun Strowman picks up an ambulance on the 10th of April
Happened last year.
on my dad's birthday. But yeah,
Happy birthday, Dad.
Braun Strowman, the big bad guy they're building, attacks Roman Reigns and he gets put in an ambulance, and then Roman attacks him again. I'm not finished with you yet, all that stuff. And picks up the ambulance and tips it over. And somehow that's supposed to get him booed. But instead it leads to the creation of the biggest babyface in the company who's not Bill Goldberg. It's still a moment I absolutely love. And it's why I love Braun Strowman to this day. Even when he gets fired and rehired and gets silly stuff done with him. This was amazing.
Big innit? Quite a big
Yeah,
fella.
big
I
bloke.
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was good, yeah. And just some other ones I want to mention very quickly. Just because they came to me now. What was it? It's literally
It came to you now.
Yeah, it did. I know. It was something. It's going further and further away. It's gone.
You got
away.
CTE?
Hopefully. No, it was musical chairs.
Oh yeah.
Musical chairs. That were funny, wasn't it? That were a good laugh. What else happened on Raw that we like? Well, no,
Why are you panicking?
I don't know.
Do you want me to,
In the first,
I've got
the first segment, I was going to bring up Bret Hart versus 1-2-3 Kid for his first real competitive match, but I went with a better one.
There you are. Bret Hart versus the 123 Kid.
Okay, some notable mentions. Tyson Austin.
Yes.
It's obviously going to be on everyone's list, but it's one of my favourite moments on Raw, so I just want to mention it.
It is amazing.
A lot of the early DX skits, just because they're funny. And the
one where they black up.
Yeah. And my final notable mention is Lesnar's return from UFC.
Yeah, how do we not even think of that one?
Yeah.
When he boots the hat. That's the best part of that one. He boots the hat.
Yeah.
He kicks John Cena's hat out of the ring. He smacks it. Or his little face 2 weeks later when he does the F5 again. He goes, like shakes his head.
So, 2013-2018 moment. Mark Henry's retirement. He's got his little salmon suit on.
This is perfect for this list exactly. Because that ain't going to get anywhere near a top 100 moments on Raw, but it is so amazing.
Yeah, because everybody thought he were retiring. Everyone's going, oh, thank you, Mark, or whatever they're saying to him. And does he put his boots in the ring? He puts his boots down, doesn't he? He's got his boots. He puts his boots in the ring. And John Cena comes down and is clapping him. I don't know if Cena's the champ at this point. I don't know if he puts the belt on him or something.
Yeah, he is.
And then, like, I don't know if does Mark get him in the ring first? Like,
John Cena comes in and he's like, Mark, you've done so much.
Yeah, he like raises his hand.
He's wearing that little T-shirt that they were selling that night after WrestleMania that we went to.
Oh yeah, the one with the arrow pointing to his belt. The champ is here.
And the new title, the Rock title.
And then Mark Henry picks him up and gives him World's Strongest Slam.
I've still got a lot left in the tank. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good moment.
Mark Henry's voice.
That is a good one.
Splendid.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually retired. Did you know that?
No.
He's active.
I'm a bit sad that it weren't something on. They waited till next week on Raw for him to do it. I know they probably think it was an angle again, but he actually did it seriously. Like, I think he could deserve that because he's been on Raw for 20 years somehow now.
His last match was in the Battle Royal last year, the big Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He says he retired and he's working as a producer. There you go.
Okay.
Mark Henry. So yeah, that was that. I don't know if it came out this week, but it was made clear. He did an interview this week. I was like, yeah, I've retired. I retired last year. And he never made a big deal out of it.
Good on him.
So good on Mark.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, there's some highlights from Raw. We don't know what they brought up on Raw 25. We know that we saw Roman Reigns against The Miz at the Barclays Center. I'm interested. I want to know who was at the Manhattan Center because we discussed this before, didn't we?
Undertaker versus Damien Demento.
No, let's just have a quick one now. I know we've not got a lot of time. Quick one. So I know you mentioned him earlier. You swore about him, but Meltzer reported that John Cena's WrestleMania opponent is a big one, and it'll be sorted out at the 25th anniversary of Raw. Let's take Undertaker off the table because we all think it's going to be him. Who could it be other than Undertaker?
Kurt Angle.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Ooh.
Austin.
Oh,
Austin's back.
I wish. No, never ever.
Austin Cena.
What about Jericho?
Could be.
Austin Cena would be better.
Yeah.
I preferred Austin Cena. There you go.
Because you can't mention... because Jericho's the same as Austin, isn't he? Like,
yeah, they're the same.
Guys like me.
Guys like them. Guys like everyone. Guys like Jericho is just the same as everyone, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's the end of the Royal Grumble for this week. Don't forget to go to royalgrumble.podbean.com. Don't forget to go to twitter.com/royalgrumblepod. Go to facebook.com/royalgrumble. Email us royalgrumblepod@gmail.com. Send us tweets. Send us your top moments from Raw. Your underrated moments from Raw. Moments from Raw. Romans. Yeah. There's a Freudian slip. Roman's the best on Raw. Hooray. That's it. Say goodbye, Daryl.
Goodbye, Daryl.
Say goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye at twitch.tv/Royal Grumble.
Go to that. That's really good.
On it.
Say goodbye. Yeah, you were on it once. Goodbye. Well done, everybody. It's good. Bye. Bye.